From polar ice caps to tropical rainforests and everywhere in between, our world is constantly evolving. And as it does, so does our climate. Scientists depend on complete and accurate data in their quest to analyze and communicate these changes to decision makers and their constituents. Accurate information is our best ally. It helps us make informed decisions based on exhaustive scientific observations, enabling us to act responsibly rather than react hastily, and to create the kind of future that allows us to protect both our environment and our economy. But some of our most valuable assets are not in digital form, making them difficult to access. Even worse, aging documents and fragile photographs are extremely susceptible to damage, endangering the irreplaceable information they contain. The Climate Database Modernization Program was established to make sure that decades of logbooks, microfilm, and other critically important pieces of climate and environmental data are protected. Cdmp is a partnership between the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration and private industry, with the goal to preserve major climate and environmental data and make them available via the Internet. Cdmp's projects span the globe, making it a vital part of the international climate community. Preserving international climate data helps to close the gaps that exist in climate research, ensuring the most complete global database is available to researchers and other users. And Cdmp's preservation of environmental research protects precious living resources as well. Bycatch reduction devices help prevent fishing vessels from needlessly catching and harming unwanted marine animals. Research into this valuable technology was in danger of being lost until scientist Kiki Jenkins contacted Cdmp.
Well, during Hurricane Katrina, the Pascagoula lab, which is not that far from Biloxi, Mississippi, was hit really very hard, and the lab was virtually destroyed. Anything that was on those low-level floors was lost. Cdmp was kind of a godsend, I have to say. We've been able to partner with them and save these records, which represent millions of taxpayer dollars of research over the past 2 decades. So I think it's very important now that we can see what can happen to digitize these and archive them online.
When Pavel Groisman arrived at the National Climatic Data Center from his home country of Russia, he brought valuable historic climate data with him.
It was Russian Empire historical data up to 1925. These data sets were collected in 4 volumes. Siberia, southern European part of Russia, and Asia. They are important because it is a large part of the global land which was not covered before. And now it is available. We need to provide them digital form of this data, which were stored in different archives, and compare it with present versus past. And of course it is not a simple exercise, but if they are able to do this, they will be more reliable answering questions what will happen in the future.
The vastness of the ocean presents a great challenge for scientists seeking a comprehensive view of climate and environmental data. To help make sense of the climate history of this expansive real estate, scientist Eric Freeman scours priceless information found in the logbooks of the legendary British East India Trading Company.
Oceans cover 70% of the Earth. So most of the observations that we have to date are on land. So if 70% of the globe's not covered, then you don't have really good coverage of the Earth whenever you're doing these global climate studies. The East India Company records extend back from the 1700s and 1800s. They're now tucked away in archives similar to this. The Cdmp, primarily we're interested in the location of each observation that the ship's observers took. So with this data, it's really good for climate change studies so that they can reconstruct the atmosphere, taking it back to the late 1700s.
Data technicians work closely with scientists as they carefully scan and key in millions of individual documents, photos, slides, and more. The work demands absolute accuracy. But the result is a greatly expanded field of data that works perfectly with the existing digital research technologies, making valuable data more easily accessible to scientists, educators, decision makers, and members of private industry around the world. This critically important component of Cdmp's network also creates numerous high-tech and data entry jobs in the private sector, providing valuable economic partnerships in 4 states and improving conditions in economically challenged regions. To date, there are more than 52 million images and over 10 terabytes of data that Cdmp has rescued and made available through its electronic image access software. And in 2008, Cdmp has increased its number of active project tasks to more than 75 in response to greater demand from scientists nationwide. The Climate Database Modernization Program continues to make immeasurable contributions to the field of climate research. But Cdmp's work is far from done. Millions of pieces of data are still waiting to be digitized, and the scientific community is depending on Cdmp to ensure that hard-earned, irreplaceable research is protected and preserved. Cdmp leads the way in providing tools for dealing with our evolving climate, supporting responsible research, and expanding public understanding of the issues affecting us all. Cdmp, protecting our data, safeguarding our economy, and preparing for our future.